Another rare bottle just fell from the sky. And by sky, I mean Dave Vogelsang hooked me up with an incredible sample. Russell's Reserve 15 year. This is a unicorn bottle, nearly impossible to find at MSRP. 15 years age, $250 MSRP, but let's be real, it's about $450, $500 on the secondary. The real question is, does it sip like a legend or another overpriced bourbon flex? Stick around to find out. It's the Simple Whiskey Show.
Simple whiskey, Cyncere. Here to keep it 100, what's the ABV? Keep it simple. Simple whiskey, and be sweeter.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Simple Whiskey Show. I'm Cyncere, and tonight we're diving into one of Wild Turkey's most sought after 15-year bourbons. Russell's Reserve 15 year. We're talking high-age classic distillery roots and a price tag that will make you question your life decisions. But is this really the king of ultra-aged, nice, smooth sipping bourbons? Or will it crumble under the weight of its own hype? You don't have to wait too long because we're about to break this thing down by nose, palate, and finish. Plus, you know I'm gonna throw water in it even if it is a rare 15-year bourbon. We gotta know how it holds up. And then finally, my simple thoughts. Should you chase, pass, or back this thing up? Let's get to sipping. All right, so a couple of quick specs on the bottle. 15 years in age, 117.2 proof, mash bill, classic Wild Turkey. This is Wild Turkey's oldest, most premium release in the Russell's line. Now let's see if this bottle casts a spell or if it disappears from my memory like half of my bourbon budget for the year. Alrighty, we'll start off with the nose. And I am so excited to try this. Last year I was in Kentucky and I tried the Russell's Reserve 13, but I did not have a chance to get the 15-year pour. And so again, this to me is like Christmas morning when I got the package from Dave. And this isn't even the only sample he sent. I got quite a few bangers. You'll see more reviews coming up where you don't see a bottle on the table. That's called the Dave Vogelsang effect. On the nose, ooh, that is a very deep oaky note. And I mean, look at the color on this. This looks like, I was gonna say a spit cup, but I mean, that's not too appetizing or appealing. But this definitely has that like a darker tea note, like if you drink black tea. That's what this looks like. It's super dark. I also get a little bit of leather on the nose, a little bit of cherry too. Now in the moment we've all been waiting for. Let's go in for a sip. Cheers. So this is unique. Something that really caught my attention is typically you chew on something 117 proof and you notice that peppery bite. I didn't get that. I just spit up front. This gives me such a rich oakiness. Like this is what you want in a bourbon. The way that this hits you with all of those oaky notes, that's what I get on this as soon as it goes down. It's not too hot. A little bit of a peppery bite on the back end. First sip of the night, my eyes aren't watering. Again, it's right there in that sweet spot in terms of proof. I also get some sort of a coffee or an espresso note on this. Very subtle, not over the top bold in that front. The rich oakiness, the caramel that you get on this, and then that little bit of like a coffee bean or even an espresso note. Man, this is fantastic. If this wasn't 2024's pour, we'd put this in the running for my best for 2025. But maybe this year I'll get the release and then we can compare them apples to apples. And Dave will have to send me another 2024 sample. Let's see what we get on this when we add a little bit of water to it. My mind tells me I should be hesitant to do so. $250 MSRP, $500 secondary, and I'm getting ready to add water to it. But what kind of show would this be if we didn't explore it in all aspects? And at the end of the day, that's what whiskey's for, to explore. Let's add some water to it. Okay, so the water has been added. And I guess, given Dave gave me this and Dave is typically a guy who drinks his whiskey on ice, this portion of the review is for you. Anybody who drinks their whiskey with ice in it and let some of that water seep into it. Like I say, I prefer to just add the drops of water so you control just how much water actually gets in there. But the two things we're looking for is, does this hold up? Does it completely go to crap? Or do you get some sort of a new expression or some new notes out of here that actually makes it even more enjoyable? So let's see what it did to the nose. Okay, so I don't know why I even have to say it. The caramel note is enhanced just like it is more often than not. And this is just me. For some other people, maybe the oakiness goes a little lighter. Maybe you get a fruitier note every time you add water, but literally 9 times out of 10, when I add water, I get a little more of a sweeter caramel note. So that's exactly what I get here. The oakiness does settle down a little bit. And there's some sort of a fruit note, but that's also really subtle. Now, in the other moment we've been waiting for, the palate with water. Cheers. Ooh, it's definitely a little bit softer. It's almost dangerous to drink because of how smooth it is, and you still get a little bit of that peppery note or even like a cinnamon spice on the back end of it right as you go into the finish. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but the finish on this is extremely long. And when I had it earlier and even now, some sort of a like tobacco note comes in with like the leathery note that I got on it the first time. And it is super strong, super long, super lingering, but it does not burn or hit too hot. But again, you do get a little bit of that heat right as it's going down. A little bit of that heat on the mouthfeel per se, but not so much on the finish. Do I prefer this one neat, or would I prefer it with the water in it? You know, it's really smooth with the water, and I feel like I'd go through the bottle a lot quicker that way, but I'd really prefer this neat. And I would love to try this with a cigar. I may take the other half of the sample and test it out with a cigar. All right, let's break this down. Couple of simple thoughts. Should you chase this bottle? Absolutely, hands down. Should you pay $500 for this bottle? I mean, if you got it and you want to send me an extra bottle and just drop a stack on it, no. I would not pay more than MSRP for this. I might go as high as $300 for this one, but that's a stretch. I think that $249 for any bottle is just almost absurd. I get it. This is one of those cases where it is extremely pleasant, quintessential bourbon, all of the oakiness without the burn, without the bite, high enough in proof that you do get that full rich flavor. But man, $250 is already a stretch. Like, I would love for this to be one of those $150 bottles. The special bottles shouldn't go higher to me than $150-ish. And again, you can let me know in the comments down below what you think. And if you've had Russell's 15, do you think that you'd pay $500 for it, or did you pay $500? I'm curious to know. If I had an opportunity, I'd buy and back this up. I would probably drop the $500 to get 2 bottles of this, but not much more than that. You're gonna share and pour it with friends, family, whatever, but by the time it digests in the belly, it's just an empty bottle. So if you like this video and want to see more, don't forget to check out my Sweet Wheat blind video. So to me, bourbon is like life. It's about knowing when to sip and when to savor. So here's the full glasses, great stories, and keeping it simple. Cheers.